Oh, hello. Yes, please come in. Welcome. Thank you for coming all this way. I know it's a bit off the beaten path. I prefer it that way, at least here on the surface. But I know it's a bit of a journey from your village, so I appreciate you coming. Oh, this? Well, this is an instrument I just received, actually. I'm not very good at it yet. Oh, no. That was just sort of plucking a few notes. Trying to learn something. You know, the bard who gave it to me, he was able to play all of these beautiful, happy melodies with it. But when I play it, it always sounds a bit melancholy. Oh well. Perhaps with practice, I'll be able to make it sing as well. It's called... What was it called? It has a name that sounds like something, but it's not that. It's something else. That's it. A lyre. A lyre. Not that kind of a lyre. A good kind of a lyre. I love music. It's not very common in the Underdark. In fact, it's really hardly anywhere. At least in the Drow villages. But I love getting to discover new things on the surface. Anyway, I hope that your trip here wasn't too taxing. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Again, I know it's a bit off the beaten path, but seeing as I am still a drow, I think most people are more comfortable when I live a bit away from most people. No, it's all right, really, I understand. Most people, when they see a drow, well, the word evil comes to mind, and that's usually where people stop. I understand, unfortunately, it is quite normal. I'm the exception to the rule, but, you know. Hopefully, being up here on the surface and being able to speak with people a bit more will be able to help people understand that not all drow are evil. Not in the way that they see them, at least. Anyway, may I offer you something to drink? I don't entertain very often, but I'm very pleased that you wanted to get to know me a bit better. Thank you for taking a risk on a drow. Sure, yes, I have some lovely wine here. Yes, it's quite good. It's a very good vintage. Yes, it's green. Oh, I'm sorry. This is called Drow wine. Have you ever had any? Probably not. Well, I think that you're in for a treat then. Hold on, let me just put this away over here. And I'll get you a glass of this and you can give this a try. Now, you won't offend me if you don't like it. It is quite a strong flavour. You see, this is made from a type of fungus, actually, that grows in the Underdark. A lot of people assume that because there's no sunlight in the Underdark that nothing grows there. That's not exactly true. There are actually quite a lot of different plants, different fungi, all sorts of things. They just grow using the inherent magic of the Underdark instead of sunshine. I know it's a bit strange, but This wine is, well, I suppose since it's not made from grapes, maybe we shouldn't call it wine. But the fermentation process is relatively similar. Anyway, would you like to try some? Okay. Like I said, it's really alright if you don't like it. I can get you something else too, okay? Okay. But you are here to learn more about a drow, so you might as well try one of our delicacies. And I do have the authority to say that this is a very good vintage. There you are. You just start with that much, see what you think of it, okay? It's really okay if you don't like it. There we are. Well, cheers to new experiences and new friendships. There aren't too many things from the Underdark that I miss, but I do enjoy a good drow wine now and then. What do you think of it? Do you like it? No, good. That's wonderful, of course. Let me know if you'd like any more, alright? Okay. No, that's good. I'm glad that you like it. So, I haven't been back to your village in a while. How is everyone doing? Has the sleeplessness, sickness abated? Oh, good. I'm glad that the remedy I was able to make helped. Good. I'm glad. No, of course. I'm more than happy to help. That's what I do out in this little cottage in the woods. I've got to busy myself somehow. Might as well do something that can help people, right? I actually learned quite a lot about different remedies and plants and healing herbs and things like that since moving to the surface. I haven't been here for all that long, and there's quite a lot to learn about. It makes me glad that I have such a long lifespan. I think that I'll be learning forever, really. That's the way I like it, especially if it's something that can help other people. You know that I follow the Drow goddess, Eilistraee. Yes, she's the goddess of beauty and music and moonlight, and she believes in helping people. Anyone. Yeah. Not very common for a drow. It's actually quite counterintuitive to the majority of drow society. But that's why I'm up here. So tell me a bit more about yourself. I would love to learn more about you, about your village, about what it was like growing up in your village. Well, it may seem boring to you, but as someone who has just recently started living on the surface, I guarantee that it won't be boring to me. I want to learn everything there is to know about the surface, about the people that live here, about what you do and how your society is, everything. I promise it won't be boring to me. So you grew up in a family, right? Mother and father. Are you still close to them? That's wonderful. It's quite different than Menzoberranzan, that's for sure. Menzoberranzan. Menzoberranzan. Yes, that's the city. that I grew up in. It is a bit complicated. It's a bit of a mouthful. If you've said it your whole life, you're used to it, I suppose. But yes, it's a drow city that's in the Middle Dark. It's quite a large city. The Middle Dark. You see, the Underdark is divided into the Upper Dark and the Middle Dark and the Lower Dark. You know, I've learned that quite a few surface dwellers think that it's really just one giant big cave or something like that. That's not the case. It's actually a whole very large, complex system of caves and caverns and things like that. And it's actually not very dark at all. I mean, it doesn't have sunlight, that's true. But there are all sorts of plants and animals. Quite a few of them have sort of a luminescence of their own. So it's actually quite rare that it would be pitch dark. You don't want to hear about my childhood, trust me. It was, well, rather typical for a drow, I guess, but not typical up here. You might find it a bit unfortunate. Alright. We are learning about each other, aren't we? Okay. Well, I was born to one of the noble houses of Menzoberranzan. So that meant that I had a certain status by birth. Yes. Status is a very important thing in drow society. Basically, everything that people do is to try to increase their own status. Whether that's, you know, increasing their wealth, increasing their power, or perhaps, you know, marrying into other families that will increase your status. Very rarely does anyone get married for something like love. That's, well, to most drow, that's sort of a trivial matter. It's quite sad, really. It's one of the reasons I wanted to move up here to the surface. And of course to spread the teachings of Eilistraee. Teachings of peace, harmony, equality, and helping people. Exactly. Anyway, so I was born to a noble family. In fact, it's actually a family that produces drow wine. Or green wine. We just call it wine. But my family, the family trade, were quite good at it. I never really got into it, but many of my siblings did, and my father was one of the best in the business, really, and also very, very, very good at trading drow wine. Yes. Speaking of drow wine, are you sure that you're enjoying yours? Well, I did happen to notice that after you took your first sip, you made a bit of a face, and you've been holding it politely, but not actually drinking any. It's really okay. Here, let me. I'll take it back. It's all right. I told you it's perfectly fine if you don't like it. It is a bit of an acquired taste, just like most drow things. Would you like it instead if I made you a nice, lovely cup of tea? Would that be more your taste? Okay. Here, I actually have one. This one was from your village, from the healer there. She's been quite kind to me. Yes, this is her Autumn Eve tea. So I think there's traces of apple, cinnamon, vanilla. I know it's not autumn, but it is quite lovely. Okay, here, let me just make you a cup of this instead. Hopefully this will be a bit more to your taste. So, the sleeplessness, sickness from your village has passed. That's wonderful to hear. Have there been any other ailments or anything this winter? Just sort of the usual. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, not good that there are, the usual, I guess, but nothing that your healer can't handle. No, I'm sure that given the proper resources, she could have cured everyone of the sleeplessness sickness as well. Let's get some hot water in here for you. There. And that will steep. Then you can enjoy a lovely cup of tea. Instead of a glass of quite strong flavoured wine. Well, I was happy to help. Like I said, that's what Eilistraee teaches. She also teaches an appreciation for the arts. Something that, as I said, is not very prevalent in Drow society. So it's always lovely to get to learn a new instrument or a new dance or a new form of art to practice. It brings her great joy. It brings me great joy too. Anyway, here, I'll just let that steep for a bit there. You can have that whenever you're ready, alright? So, you haven't told me much about your village growing up. What was it like? What exactly is your family's trade? Oh, interesting. Okay. Are you going to continue in that, or do you have other aspirations? That's right. Apprenticeships, yes. Well, that's quite exciting. Yes, I bet you'll be wonderful at that. It seems as though, at least from what I could gather from my visit there, that the village seemed to see you as a bit of a protector. Is that true? Well, you were very brave. And you are very kind of heart as well. Well, honestly, you would have to be able to trust a drow. To come all the way out here to the woods, to a little open glade, just to meet with me. Well, I appreciate that. Oh, are you, is it too dark in here for you? I do generally keep it a bit dark, but if you'd like, I could open a window, or perhaps I could find another torch or something. I'm sure I've got one somewhere around here. I don't use them all that often, but... Okay, well, if you change your mind, it's really alright. I can make it a bit brighter in here if you would be more comfortable. Okay, well, no, I guess it's not incredibly dark, just perhaps a bit darker than you're used to. Yes, for the most part it's alright, but the sunlight, it does hurt my eyes a bit. and it can hurt my skin if I'm out for too long, so I do generally do most of my travelling either at night or perhaps at dusk or the first early hours of the morning. It's definitely been an adjustment living here, but it's worth it. Living with people not necessarily trusting me or anything like that, it's still been quite nice. Especially to get to meet people like you. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this getting to know people just in a casual sort of way. That's not really something that we do in Drow society. It's all about what someone can do for you. Yeah, that seems to be most of what people care about. But it's not their fault. The other Drow. It's Lorth, really. It's quite sad. Yes, the goddess that they worship, the awful, evil spider goddess. Yes. She was cursed and exiled, as I'm sure you know, from the elven pantheon of gods, and she had the Drow to follow her, and she spun these tales of the Drow rising up, the Drow being superior to all the other races, and coming to the surface to basically enslave all the other races, and the Drow taking their rightful place as rulers, really. Now, of course, that's awful in and of itself, but what's even worse is that she made all of these promises, and none of that has ever come to pass. See, the way that Drow society works, it's really based on betrayal, mistrust. Not only do, other races not trust the Drow, but Drow don't even trust each other. Especially in, the noble houses, high society. If killing your own parent would increase your own status, then why wouldn't you do it? Really, the rules and the laws and things like that are really just suggestions. They're more there for the people who are foolish enough to get caught doing something wrong. It's a harsh place to grow up. It's a harsh place to live. And because of that, because the whole society is built on betrayal, then things like coming together to create a community, or even to create, an army to go and retake the surface, it's not even really possible. Because there's so much infighting and no one would trust each other enough anyway. So Loth created a society where the Drow live in turmoil, constant turmoil. And she likes it that way. Yeah. It's a difficult way to live, but it's the way that it's always been for the Drow. Yes, yes, unless you're like me. I am considered quite the outcast to Drow. No, it's okay. I'd rather be an outcast than whatever they are. It would be nice to be able to actually be with my family, if they believed as well that the teachings of Eilistraee, but there are not all that many of us who follow her. But she's still there for those of us who do. She's actually the daughter of Loth. And she chose to join in her mother's exile, just in case there were Drow who wanted to follow her instead, who believed in things like equality, who believed that peace was possible. Yeah, there's not too many of us, but there's still a few. You're sorry? What do you have to be sorry for? You've been quite kind to me since we met. Well, alright, you were a bit hesitant at first, which is perfectly understandable, but you've really taken a chance getting to know me a bit better. Oh, please don't be too hard on your neighbours. It's understandable that they see the Drow the way that they do, and that they see me the way that they do. I've come to be used to it. Please don't judge them too harshly. It is a tall order asking someone to trust someone that looks like me. That's why I live out in the woods, after all. Well, and it is also very convenient for the rituals of actually worshipping Eilistraee. Usually we do it by moonlight in an open glade, so this is the perfect place to do so. But it also means that I'm not bothering people. No, I wouldn't be a bother. I wouldn't do things that were a bother, but sometimes me just being there is enough of a bother, unfortunately. But hopefully, one day that will change. You know, it's funny, the followers of Eilistraee, we come to the surface here. We try to, make good relationships with the people who live up here. We try to spread goodness and love and kindness and equality wherever we can. And yet we are often met with mistrust. There was one particular nobleman, not of your village, but of a city not too far from here. He was convinced that I was actually a Drow spy, trying to find out what the numbers of his particular city were so that we could invade. So, not only do the people on the surface not trust us, but even our own Drow, our own kinsmen don't trust us either. They think that we must be, actually surface elves in disguise using magic. Oh well. It is few and far between that we meet someone that just sees us at face value. But that's why I've been wanting to get to know you a bit better. You've really been a beacon of light my time here in the service. So, thank you. And hopefully someday people can see Drow a bit differently. At least those of us who prove ourselves to be worthy of being seen differently, I guess. How do you like your tea? Good. I'm glad that that's a bit more to your liking. Like I said, it's really alright if you don't like things that I offer you. It's, you never have to pretend that you like something, okay? I mean, part of getting to know someone is learning about their likes and dislikes, right? Well, there you are. So, you can always be honest here, okay? Okay. Well, I don't want to cut our time short, but I know that you have quite a long journey home. I wouldn't want you to get caught walking through the forest in the dark, so you may want to think of, heading home rather soon. I know that it hasn't been long. I would love to get to speak with you more, but I don't want you to be put in danger because of me. Although, I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could stay here for the night and then leave sometime tomorrow during the day when it's more safe. I guess I'm not quite sure what the etiquette in a situation like this is for your people. I wouldn't want to be impertinent or anything like that. But I've got plenty of space and plenty of blankets, and I'm sure that we could be perfectly comfortable. Okay. Wonderful. Yes, of course. You're more than welcome to stay. I'm sure that we could muster up something wonderful to eat, and then we could talk later through the night. Okay? It is quite fun getting to know you a bit better. I appreciate it. Oh, I'm going to need to go out for more firewood at some point. I'm not sure that I have enough to get through the entire night, but we can deal with that later. You want to do it? Oh, no, it's all right. I can go out and get some firewood. There's no need for you to do that. You want to? You want to do it for me? I don't think I've ever had someone offer to do something for me just out of kindness. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's very considerate of you. Well, perhaps I can. I'll look through the food and see what we can muster up to eat. No. You don't have to do that too. All right. I'll wait so that we can cook something together. How's that? Okay. Then I can make sure that we make something that you will like as well, so that we don't have another Drow wine situation, okay? Okay. Well, thank you again. That's very kind of you. You've been a wonderful host, I guess. I mean, I know you're in my house, but I'm in your land, so it still feels like I'm the visitor. But you've really been very kind. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking a chance on a strange Drow. I hope that this is the beginning of a very, very meaningful friendship. Good. I'm glad you feel the same. Yes, of course, you go on out. I'll see you in a few minutes then, yes? Okay. Thank you again. It's very kind of you to offer. Alright. I'll see you in a little while.